Okay, so first of all, I wanted to give a big shout out to Mojo El Diablo and Lost Anarchy Magazine for including me in the new issue of Lost Anarchy Magazine, which is awesome because it's going to be available at Comic-Con, and I've never been to Comic-Con in San Diego. I've always wanted to go, but now we'll get to be there in cartoon form, in print. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Lucas from Instagram for drawing this photo of me with the lightsaber, which is awesome. Okay, now this is a movie you guys have been requesting for a long time, and the reason I never did it before was, well, I'll just be honest with you guys, I just really didn't want to watch this movie. I actually had to watch the movie over 4 sessions because I could only handle a little bit at a time, and then I had to take a break. I guess it was over the span of 4 days that I tried watching this movie. So here it is. I honestly didn't even know where to start with this review, but I guess I should start by saying that I do hate the majority of Adam Sandler movies. But, I mean, there are a few that I like, Happy Gilmore and The Wedding Singer, and even though most of his movies receive pretty terrible reviews, they do make money, so there are people out there that do enjoy it. So if you do enjoy his movies, that's cool, but I personally find them incredibly lazy from a comedic standpoint. It's almost as if he just doesn't really have to try. Just look at the poster for this movie. Even in the poster, he's got this look on his face like, yup, this is gonna be stupid, but it's probably gonna make some money. And even though a gross of $150 million on a $79 million budget would not be considered a success by Hollywood standards, it's still a lot of coin. And by the way, how did this movie cost $79 million to make? I would have really loved to have been a fly on the wall for that pitch. Okay, so here's the idea. The movie stars Adam Sandler. It also stars Adam Sandler dressed as a woman. And we're gonna need around $79 million to make this happen. Anyways, the movie starts with a bunch of twins talking about what it's like to be twins, and pretty much everything you need to know about the movie is summed up here. It's boring and the jokes aren't funny. The movie is about Adam Sandler's character's sister, obviously Jill, coming to visit him, and not only is she incredibly annoying, but she's stupid to the point where she could very well be mentally retarded. By the way, Katie Holmes is also in this movie, which really doesn't even surprise me because obviously she's not that great at making movie choices. This is the same person that chose not to reprise her role in The Dark Knight so that she could go do Mad Money instead. One of the movies was a complete box office bomb. The other went on to be the 18th highest grossing movie of all time. Guess which one is which. Anyways, they're all having Thanksgiving dinner, and it's completely amazing how this scene manages to go absolutely nowhere. The only thing that it establishes is what we already know, which is Jill is a fucking idiot and Jack can't stand her. Well, maybe it's just a scene full of jokes. Okay, sure. The only thing is that the jokes aren't funny.
When we were kids, you felt it when I broke my ankle.
I felt it because you fell on my head. You like that one? All right, good.
Well, at least someone did. So then we have this sequence which shows how much Jack and Jill are alike one another. Because, you know, they're twins. Oh, I get it. So Jack, I don't know, convinces Jill to go on this dating site, and he gets her a bunch of dates somehow, which makes no sense at all. I mean, she lives in New York and he lives in Los Angeles. And if he wants to get rid of her, why is he trying to hook her up with guys in Los Angeles? Anyways, Jack's gotta try and convince Al Pacino to be in a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. And he learns that he's gonna be at the Lakers game. And for some reason, someone suggests bringing Jill to the Lakers game with him. But you know what? It really doesn't matter because I just feel that making sense of any of this is completely pointless. We're just along for the ride at this point, whether you hate it or hate it. I bet you'd feel kind of sad to see Al Pacino and Johnny Depp in this movie, but at least it shows they have, I don't know, somewhat of a sense of humor in terms of their careers. Obviously, they don't take things too seriously. I mean, Johnny's wearing a Justin Bieber t-shirt here, which to be honest was the only slightly funny thing I found in this entire movie. So for some reason, Al Pacino is completely taken with Jill, and he sends her a hot dog with his number written in condiments. At this point in the movie, if you're anything like me, you're sitting there wondering why Al Pacino ever agreed to do this. I mean, I think it's perfectly fine for actors to have a sense of humor about themselves, but this? I can't help but think about all the amazing movies Al Pacino's been in, and now I'm watching him trying to seduce Adam Sandler in drag. Somehow Jill ends up at this, Mexican family reunion, which is of course filled with lame slapstick comedy and ethnic jokes which never seem to end. Oh, I get it. The grandmother's Mexican, so she can eat jalapenos like there's no tomorrow. And when she gets hurt, we'll make her feel better by feeding her more jalapenos. That's funny, right? Yeah, it's so funny that we're gonna do the joke multiple times. Al Pacino goes on some kind of rampage because now he's obsessed with Jill for some fucking reason. And he tells Jack that he'll do the commercial as long as he gets Jill. I mean, come on, man. Really? So later, Jill comes back from the Mexican picnic, and this is where the movie truly succeeds at completely scraping the absolute bottom of the comedy barrel.
It's the chimichangas! Oh, they're making a run for the border!
Hey, Jill, can I talk to you for a second?
No! My bags are packed and there's nothing left to say. I spent the day at Felipe's picnic where I finally felt welcomed. By everybody. I tried this new food for the very first time.
I'm guessing Mexican?
To this point, I didn't think it was possible for a movie to stretch a fart joke this long, but once again, I was foolish to underestimate how far this movie was willing to go to finally create something that could be mistaken for comedy. So they all go on some cruise, and everybody on the boat stops to watch them do their jump rope routine because, you know, this would totally happen. Oh yeah, just in case you forgot, Jill doesn't want to see Al Pacino again, so Jack comes up with the brilliant idea of dressing up as Jill to fool Al Pacino. Wait, you mean we're gonna get to see Adam Sandler dress up as a woman again? It almost kind of reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire at this point, except at no point watching Mrs. Doubtfire did I ever feel that it would be more entertaining to play Russian roulette by myself. So Al takes him to his castle or something and tries to seduce him again, thinking that it's her. It doesn't matter. And I can't help but wonder, during this entire process, particularly filming this scene, was there any point where Adam Sandler even had a fleeting doubt in his mind? For a single second, did the thought ever occur that maybe this is a stupid idea? So Jack goes back to find out that Jill left. So he goes to find Jill and apologizes. And then Al Pacino shows up and she turns him down. And that's pretty much the end of this shit. Of course, the last scene is Al Pacino watching the Dunkin' Donuts commercial that they filmed. And honestly, I think that this reaction was the exact same one that he had after watching this movie.
Burn this.
I'm sorry?
This must never be seen by anyone.
If you didn't like all those close-ups, we can, no, this is not the final cut. There's no doubt we can.
All copies. Destroy them.
By the way, if any of you know what movie this is a reference to, then post it in the comments. Even though I didn't even like that movie. Really didn't. Sad.